Welcome to the Philippines. The Philippines has over 7,000 islands and some of the best beaches in the world.
But which one do you choose?
Well, don't worry, we're here to help. Welcome to Boracay.
If you're visiting the Philippines for the first time, Boracay is a must-see. It's powdery white sand, stunning sunsets, and a town with everything you need.
There are at least 6 beaches on Boracay, so you're spoiled for choice. White Beach is the most famous. Calm, crystal clear blue waters, powdery white sands at Station 1 and 2, and spectacular sunsets. It can be busy though. Station 3 is quieter, but we also found a secret beach.
Okay, so it's not all just about the keyhole, guys. Come explore this beach. How easy is it to get there? Well, there are no direct flights to Boracay Island, but it's about 2 hours in total from Manila or Cebu, and you're in paradise. You fly to the next door island, and then you hop on a 20-minute ferry across.
Getting around the island is so easy because they have this hop-on, hop-off bus. It's like $7.50 for 3 days, unlimited travel all over the island. Well, what about the accommodation? Well, you are spoiled for choice. From budget hotels from 20 to 30 a night, to the Hainan resorts right on the beach, but they're going to set you back more than 120. We stayed at this absolutely comfortable apartment and it only cost us $35 a night.
Dining room.
This is a lounge. Washing machine.
Go show us around, bro. For food choices, Boracay has it all. There are restaurants right on the beach, offering so many local classics with beautiful views.
Here we got this ube ice cream, which is like as ube. And of course, there are plenty of international foods on D-Mall.
Yeah, it's not really a mall, but it's a really cool street.
They've also got other chains like Jollibees and McDonald's and Andox, but there's a must-try local dish in the famous Calamansi muffin. World famous Calamansi muffin.
Apart from the beach though, what else can you do in Boracay?
Well, it doesn't have that many tours, out to island hopping or anything like that. But what they do have is beautiful scuba diving, so you can go out and do some scuba diving. They also have some fantastic kitesurfing because the wind blows on shore absolutely perfectly, so you really get your kites up. And of course, they're all the parties on the beach.
There's also a lot of shopping in Boracay.
Okay, on to the pros and cons. First of all, the pros. Public transport, what a dream that hop-on, hop-off is. And the beaches, there are so many beaches, every type you can imagine, busy, not busy, everything in between. There are apartments, there's shopping, there's shops, and it makes a good place for a long-term stay.
Yeah, on the negative side, the cons, it can get really crowded. This is the most popular beach in the Philippines and possibly the world.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of bureaucracy at the ferry where you've got to go to all those different windows, and those people trying to scam you, that can be quite annoying.
Camotes. Camotes feels like stepping back in time. A peaceful, laid-back island with huge sandy beaches and untouched nature. It's perfect for travelers looking for a simple, authentic experience without the tourist crowds or the tourist traps, let's say. If you love the slower pace of life, Camotes is worth the journey.
To get to Camotes Island, you take a 1.5 hour ferry from Cebu and then a quick ride to your accommodation. The rides, they can be a bit expensive. The tri-cabs are like $5 no matter how far you're going. There's no Grab, there's no taxis, but you can rent a scooter for $5 for the whole day.
Just like we did. And then you're here.
Wow.
Santiago White Beach. It's a huge powder sand beach. The water is shallow and it's very tidal, so the sea goes out like for miles. You end up with this huge beach.
Yeah, the sea was just like gone one morning.
It also has the best of both worlds, sunrise and a sunset beach. The accommodation choices are a little bit limited, but it does look like they're building some apartments. We stayed at a simple budget place with absolutely stunning views on the beach. It had its own barbecue. And the barbecue, wow. There are also some great beach resorts with pools and an amazing place called Mongodlong. You got to see this place to believe it. Wow. Oh, they have some glamping as well.
Yeah, so cool. Food choices in Camotes. There are like 2 or 3 restaurants at the beach, like feet in sand properly at the beach. They're small places, but they're really good quality. And one of my favorite dishes, this is a must-try dish, fish sinigang.
In San Francisco town, they have the best liempo we have eaten in the Philippines. And there's some also great local caranderas.
Find a better breakfast than all of this.
There are no chain stores, absolutely no chain stores, and no international restaurants whatsoever.
Yeah, and the market and the supermarket are in town, which is like 30-minute scooter ride away. But they do have convenience stores, saris, right at the beach. Apart from that amazing beach, what else can you do in Camotes?
Well, basically you're going to be DIYing your own tour. Get a scooter and head off. They've got some fantastic caves to explore and loads of them. They also have a lot of hiking. You can go hiking all over the place, and they have this lake. What a spectacular lake. You can explore that. There's some trails, and then something else that's completely unique to the Camotes, beach wildlife.
Oh yeah, that day that all the crabs were there were so many crabs.
That was absolutely stunning.
Amazing. And then the kingfishers catching the crabs and beating them to death on a stick.
That is amazing.
And the starfish.
They've also got some in the sea, and there's also some great corals. So snorkeling and scuba diving, absolutely fantastic. There's also abandoned buildings to explore.
Ooh. There's not too much nightlife, but there is a live band on the weekends. Onto the pros and cons of Camotes. Well, the pros, obviously, it's so local and non-touristy vibe. You don't get ripped off at all. And there's so much to do, surprisingly. And of course, all that incredible wildlife.
Well, the cons are there is no public transport.
Yeah.
It's scooter or nothing. There are very few ATMs on the island.
Yeah, there's like one.
Yeah. And it's very far away from the beach. There's also the supermarket is far. The beaches of Bantayan Island in the Philippines.
This is a hidden gem. I shouldn't be telling you about this. Vast white sand beaches, clear blue waters, peaceful small town vibe. It's affordable. It has great seafood. It's got easygoing, amazingly friendly locals. This island offers a slice of paradise without all the crowds and for a great value.
Let's take a closer look at the beach. One of them is called Sugar Beach, so you know it's going to have powder white sands. Absolutely stunning place. There's a great drop off, so you're swimming in deep water quite quickly. And best of all, sunrise sunset beach.
Ooh, sounds amazing, but how do you get there?
It used to be that you'd have to take a van for 4 hours and then take a ferry for an hour. You could still do that, but now on a Monday and a Saturday you can actually literally fly there. 45 minutes from
Wow.
Cebu to Bantayan.
How much though?
It's about, I can't read, $50. When you're on the island, getting around is quite simple. You walk. Okay, it's not just walking, but around Santa Fe, which is the town you're going to stay in, it's very easy to walk. You're going to have the local trucks. They're going to be $1 maximum to get you around.
Nice.
Then if you want to get a little bit further to, say, Bantayan, you're going to take one of the coolest vehicles. We call them Jeepicles, but basically it's a motorbike with a jeepney on the back. But they do have proper jeepneys that are going to take you to Madre Dios.
Of course you're going to go there.
Such a cool name to say, Madre Dios. Okay, we've started. We're on our way. Venture beginning. What about where we're staying?
Well, actually, accommodation in Bantayan, you've got quite a lot of choice. We found this amazing bungalow right on the beach, and it had its own outdoor shared kitchen. It was like so Bantayan, but you've also got resorts with pools, incredible views, so much choice for accommodation.
How beautiful is this place we're staying?
Okay, but if you don't have your own kitchen, what's there to eat?
Well, the town is right on the beach and they have a great seafood market. In fact, shells are a speciality of this place. So you're getting your scallops and your mussels and some things, yeah, I don't even know what that is. And for some reason, they make the sweetest pineapples in the world.
For sure.
Some of the must-try dishes are the dried fish.
You gotta try it once.
It's definitely a try once thing. Then there's the Kinilo, which is a try all the time type thing.
And then a speciality of this area is something called tanguangkan. It's chicken ovaries.
There are a lot of other foods. Mostly the international foods are on the beach. There's MJ Square, which is a bit touristy, but there are no chains, no McDonald's.
Yeah, not even Jollibee.
Check out this crab dish.
Insane.
How do you even eat it?
I don't know.
Well, there are quite a few things to do in Bantayan. There is actually island hopping to other islands. They said Malapascua, but we never went.
It's really far.
There's also great Spanish ruins.
Ooh.
And there's an abandoned villa which has become super
Yeah,
popular
with the graffiti. Oh.
and the trendy,
Yeah.
Instagrammers. As we mentioned, hop on the Jeepcycle and head over to Bantayan town. That is the thing to do, the Jeepcycle. But go to the church and remember, importantly, look up. They do have scuba diving, and of course there's some kitesurfing schools on the island.
Yeah.
There's also some caves and some fantastic nightlife and clubs.
Yeah. Pros and cons of Bantayan. It's so quiet. There's so much to do. It's got those epic beaches. It's really easy to get around. There's great food. You don't get ripped off.
Well, I suppose we get to move on to the cons now. And I actually couldn't think of any.
We're not there at the moment. El Nido. It's all about the dramatic limestone cliffs, the crystal clear water, the hidden lagoons, and they are some of the most stunning beaches in all of the Philippines. El Nido is also very much known for its island hopping, but it's certainly not for budget travelers. How about the beaches?
There are a number of beaches in El Nido, from the powder white sands to the dramatic rocky coastlines. All of them have stunning views though. Sometimes you just have to stop and have a beer. And look at the scenery. But how easy is it to get there?
It's actually not really easy. I mean, you can fly from Manila or Cebu, it's like an hour and a half, but it costs like $200 for a one-way ticket.
Wow.
Most people, like us, fly an hour and a half to Puerto Princesa. It was only $30 though. And then you take a 6-hour van ride. $10 though.
Man, look at that. That's the sign that says El Nido.
Uh-huh. Once you're there though, to get around, like the tuk-tuks are so expensive. It's like $5 just to go the shortest, like a couple hundred meters. There's also no Grab available, so walking is definitely your best option. And there's a lot of traffic.
A little bit chaotic.
But once you're there, at least you've got some great places to stay, right?
Yeah, accommodation is expensive and not really up to the standard you're going to find elsewhere in the Philippines. Our hotel with no window was $45 a night.
Ooh.
And we weren't even on the beach. There are some apartments that you can get some long-term stay, but there's not much in the way of a supermarket that you could do shopping for it.
So no real point.
And then if you are going to go on the beach, you're looking at 200 plus, and that's dollars on the beach.
But it's a
Wow.
beautiful beach.
Oh, it is spectacular. But at least the food is great.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We actually stayed in El Nido town. There was this incredible seasick right on the beach. So much fun. And then we had like an adobo with the most beautiful views. There's also absolutely stunning international food. Brunch was mind-blowing. But the absolute must-try, my takeaway from El Nido, is getting the fried chicken from just outside the school.
All that fried chicken.
And then you sit on the beach and you eat it and you watch the people come in.
Fried chicken, ice cold drink. Does it get better than this? Well, I got the Rick with me, so.
There are a lot of things to do in El Nido. A lot of the very popular things though aren't in El Nido.
Yeah, like the underwater river, World Heritage, it's 4 hours away. And then of course the beautiful Coron, also 4 hours away. You also have these full day island hopping tours.
Oh yeah, they're going to sell them to you all the time.
Wherever you go, there are 4 types to choose from, A, B, C, D. There are also a lot of activity things, like you can go kayaking, and they have this climb up the mountain and walk across the top of the mountain.
Terrifying.
I can't remember, like a canopy tour or something they called it. We actually enjoyed just walking around and finding some quiet spots, doing a little bit of people watching, and there was a little bit of nightlife. This is the real street food of Nido. Onto the pros and cons. Pros, well, it's absolutely stunningly beautiful.
You cannot get tired of that view.
You don't get tired of that view just sitting and looking at it. It is a must-see. And of course, it has absolutely fantastic food.
Yeah, but it is very busy and it is super expensive for the Philippines.
Welcome to Alona Beach. Alona is for anyone who wants an easy-to-reach beach with restaurants, nightlife, some traffic.
Quite a lot of traffic.
Some of the best day trips, and of course scuba diving.
Okay, but how's the beach?
Well, it's not very big. In fact, it's not even there during high tide. But it is powder white sands, absolutely beautiful. There are palm trees everywhere. And it does get crowded, so not so much of an Alona as a wither or something.
As we said before, getting to Alona is super easy. You can fly straight to Panglao Airport from Manila for like an hour and a half. It's right at the beach. Or if you're a bit cheaper, you can take the ferry from Cebu.
Getting around Alona is really easy. It's quite small, so just walk everywhere. If you want to go a little bit further than Alona, you can take a local tri-cab. They are a bit pricey at about $7.
They're really pricey.
And then there's a bus that does a loop, but it's only clockwise, so you know.
Yeah, you can go one way. We found the best was to just hire a private driver for about $35 for the day.
It is set up for tourists, so you have hotels in every single budget range, from super cheap up to as much as you want to spend.
Not too many apartments though for long-term stay. You're going to have to go into town for that. What are we eating in Alona though? There's a lot of restaurants on the beach, like literally feet in sand. The town is right at the beach, so you've got all your Jollibees and McDonald's and your other chains right there. There's a lot of international foods and there's some local foods. It can be pretty pricey though.
1,200 for that lobster. Things to do. Well, of course, there's massage.
And pedicure.
And pedicure, yeah, Rick, sorry
If you've
about
been
that.
there, you know.
My foot scrub.
Oh, no, thank you. People keep offering me foot scrubs. My feet must look dirty.
There is also scuba diving, but it's Bohol. So, of course, there's the chocolate hills.
And the Tarsiers.
Yeah, we're going back for those guys. Anyway, there's also the beef farm, there's South Farm, and of course, tons of cultural activities like calamari making. And these
Awesome.
guys are
And the salt
so
thing
strong.
and the swords.
Oh,
so
wow.
much to see.
Yeah, and of course, there's some nightlife.
Pros and cons of Alona. Well, it's really easy to get there and there's so much to see because you're so close to Bohol.
The cons are it is super touristy.
It really
It is
is.
set up for the tourists. And the salespeople can be very pushy.
And the beach is not really the biggest.
Oh, wow. I can't remember how to start these vlogs. But we're in Anda. Check this place out.
It's a hidden gem in Bohol. Far away from the crowds, it offers quiet white sand beaches, way more laid back experience. Perfect for those who want to just relax, snorkel, dive without getting the whole usual tourist scene. Getting there takes a bit of time, but the peaceful surroundings just make it worth it. But how do you get there, you ask?
Well, it's not easy. First of all, you're going to have to fly in to Panglao, and then it's going to be a 4-hour bus ride. Or you can come in from Cebu, where it's only going to be a 2-hour bus ride. Well, for accommodation, it's a small place, so you are going to get $10 hotels. On the beach is going to be $40. So that's fantastic, but not much choice.
I think around the area though there are some great private villas if you want something a bit more fancy. Oh, such a small place, what's to eat? Actually, you're lucky here because in Anda you've got the top 2 restaurants in Bohol. We had the most yummiest ribs and this incredible salad thing right at the beach. There's also more casual dining, there's a whole food park, so much fun.
Well, things to do here. Of course, you have access to all the Bohol stuff.
Gracias!
I was going to say Chocolate Hills, but yes, there's also amazing scuba diving and snorkeling right off the beach. Walk onto the reefs.
You can also take a walk through the mangroves and you end up at Lamanok Island with this whole mystic tour and prehistoric caves.
There's also hiking and waterfalls and live music on the weekends. It's small, but it's a really lively scene.
It was so cool, it was so local.
Oh, we so enjoyed it.
Karaoke.
Pros and cons. Well, it's super quiet. There are no hawkers. The cons are it's far away.
That's kind of given, and I think it's okay.
Yeah, you go far to get rid of everyone else.
Wow, amazing beaches. But anyway, here's a simple itinerary depending on how much time you have in the Philippines.
If you have 1 week,
Boracay.
it has to be Boracay, of course it does. If you have 2 weeks, then I'm going to say Boracay and Alona. Well,
Yeah.
Alona's on Bohol, so you've got, of course, the...
The Tarsiers and the Chocolate Hills. Most people will say you have to go to Nido, but you can kind of see that in Thailand.
Oh, ouch, Rick. What if you had 3 weeks?
Well, obviously Boracay and Alona for the Tarsiers, and then you can go to El Nido and Caron.
Yeah. And I think if you were going to stay a full month, the length of the visa, you're going to have to chuck Bantayan into that mix.
Definitely Bantayan.
I would probably check Bantayan in myself, but you guys have to go and see the others as well.